President Trump having a successful start to the G20 summit in Argentina, officially signing the USMCA and having a high-stakes meeting with the world's leaders. Now, of course, everyone's awaiting that all-important meeting between Trump and China's President Xi and exactly where we will go on trade. Here to discuss, Senior Fellow and Director of the Center for Chinese Strategy at the Hudson Institute, Michael Pillsbury. Michael, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry.
Hey, all right,
Hi, Charles.
Hey, the moment of truth, about 24 hours away. You have been on this better than anybody else. Help handicap it for us, if you will.
All right. Well, there's a couple of, if you look at the horse race, I guess, is your metaphor. If you look at a couple of factors, I think you can get an insight of what's going to happen. First of all, the president has got his whole team there. Adding Peter Navarro to Air Force One and to the dinner is a very important sign. It means everybody is going to listen to President Xi's presentation and then analyze it either late Saturday night or the next morning. On the Chinese side, they've also got a mix of views, both in their delegation and back in Beijing. So you've got these two debates going on. And frankly, Charles, they're not food fights. It's not childish behavior. They're very thoughtful differences among the players. Steve Mnuchin, who I don't agree with him, but I understand his point of view. He's talking about the markets, global financial stability, global economic growth, and he has a view of China that tends to be a bit more forgiving than Peter Navarro's approach, which was best shown in a briefing he gave at Hudson Institute called Chinese Economic Aggression. And he listed 50 examples and types of aggression that China uses. He's not going to be very trustful of vague promises from President Xi. So this kind of debate, either, as I say, Saturday night or during the day on Sunday, that's when President Trump is going to listen to his different advisors with their thoughtful differences and I think make a decision about the announcement. There's several options he can go for, but one of them is going to be starting the clock on full tariffs. That is 25% of all Chinese exports. From President Trump's point of view, that will bring him, Charles, $100 billion a year, 25% of $500 billion. He's talked about that several times already, that he likes the present deal because of the revenues that the tariffs bring in. On the other side, they're trying to calculate the effect on our markets, the effect on global growth. So this is really what you might call a command decision by the president. So it's important that his whole team hears Xi's presentation. By the way, we've kept it secret. The Trump administration has not released the 142 items China has offered in writing. Last time in May, when the same sort of thing happened in Beijing, the Chinese leaked the two sides' positions. So it's a much more responsible approach now that the two sides are having these talks in secret. That's optimistic, I'd say, for the outcome.
We've got less than a minute, Michael, and I do want to ask you, speaking of optimism, already I think we've seen a lot of olive branches today that have gone unreported or underreported. UBS now has been given the first foreign bank to be given majority status in a JV. They asked for it in May. They only had a 25% part. Today they given the okay. This is significant, coming on the heels of what happened with American Express and Allianz Insurance.
And BMW.
And BMW. So we are seeing now that's a critical point, isn't it?
And letting Tesla have a factory in Shanghai. That's another step they took.
So that's critical stuff, isn't it, Michael? I mean, the fact that this is a central issue. These JVs where Western companies are you know, they just come there and essentially give away their expertise for a piece of the action.
Yes, as you've reported before, Charles, the pressure for forcible technology transfer often arises out of these joint ventures where the senior Chinese partner just kind of demands the source code and the designs and the trade secrets. That will be reduced if they go to whole ownership or at least majority ownership by the foreign company. That's good news. But there's bad news, too. Notice these are not, except for American Express, these are not American companies. China is taking, in the last couple of weeks, Charles, a kind of global approach. We're going to open up to everybody in the world. Nothing about America, nothing about President Trump negotiations. This is a negative. This is kind of offensive to President Trump to say, well, we're going to fix everything, BMW, UBS. Well, I count that as bad news.
You know, of course, he spent the last 2 days, President Xi, in Spain, saying, I will rally the world under the banner of free, open markets against protectionism, the country with one of the highest trade barriers out there. Michael, thank you so much for your expertise. Can't wait to see what happens.